Hello again, everybody. So, I've been thinking a lot about the Florida school about the Florida school shooting. I wanted to talk about it to you guys earlier, but I guess I just kind of forgot. But if you don't if you don't know what it is, about a month or so ago, a 19-year-old named Nicholas Cruz brought several ammunitions to a high school in Florida and opened fire on students and teachers. And the response to that has just been absolutely crazy. People are protesting gun violence and protesting a lot of things. I actually got into an argument with someone I used to know on Facebook over it. She kept saying that, how bad she felt for him, that he was a tortured soul, and that and then she tried to make this like I was a bad person because I don't feel bad for him. Whatever kind of trauma or childhood issues he had, he lost the right to sympathy the minute he opened fire on those people. And then she started saying, I don't care about mental illness or stuff like that. Okay, as someone who struggles with mental health issues on my own, I'm the last person to bag on mental illness. But the thing is, that's always the first thing that the defense goes for. Mental illness and crappy childhood. That's always the first thing they go for. And the jury will buy that. They'll see him as a kid who didn't know what he was doing, which is actually what she said was, well, he didn't know what made him act that way. Okay, he had planned this out for like over a month or a year, which means it was premeditated, which means he knew exactly what he was doing. He also had the presence of mind to run from the police and try and get away with it. So he knew what he was doing. You can't tell me he didn't know what he was doing. So, and if not feeling bad for a mass murderer makes me a bad person, then so be it. But the thing is, we've become a society where nothing is anyone's fault anymore. Everything is always something else's or someone else's fault. It's always, oh, well, they had a mental illness, or, oh, well, they had a bad childhood. Personally, I think that kind of adds on to the negative stigma already attached to mental illness. People are afraid of people with mental illness, and it's because of that, and it's because of that stigma that people are afraid of it. So, and I know that he's had several run-ins with the police before. So I will say that several factors have failed in this. But it does mostly all rely on him and his own choices to do what he did. In my opinion, the only people who deserve any sympathy are the victims and their families. That's it. I mean, sure, if he had gotten help sooner for whatever he has, then things would have been different. But that doesn't excuse what he did. That doesn't excuse murder. So, I know that several people on here might disagree with me, but that's fine, And to be honest, I can't understand why people would feel bad for him. Somewhat, I can't understand. But I don't feel bad for him at all. he knew exactly what he was doing, and he doesn't, in my opinion, he doesn't deserve sympathy. It's not as if he just snapped and just randomly grabbed a gun, opened fire. He planned it. It was premeditated and it was planned. He knew what he was doing. And he did express remorse. Whether that's genuine or not, we won't really know. Personally, I'm always skeptical of people showing remorse when they do something like this. Because, like, if you were truly sorry, I don't think you would have done it in the first place. But I'm not saying people can't be sorry for their actions, but it's hard to know whether or not someone's genuinely sorry that they did it or sorry that they got caught. So... And now a bunch of teenagers are protesting about gun violence and saying we need to get rid of guns. And a lot of them, and the majority of them, I think, are actually victims from the shooting, survivors from the shooting. I'm not really sure, but some of them are. And in a way, I understand where they're coming from, because they're upset. They have a right to be upset. They have a right to be upset. But at the same time, I don't really think they know what they're talking about or what they're protesting about. I mean, I don't know. Like, maybe they do. I don't know. But I think it's more. I think it's more about. I think it's also just kind of their way of learning to deal with it, because if they've been through a traumatic experience, and if there was ever shooting at my school, then maybe I would react the same way. I don't know. But so yeah. Personally, I think our schools need better security. I think that they should, routinely search, do routine locker searches and search their bags. And yes, I know it's an invasion of privacy, and I get that. But, it's about the safety of our children and what's best for them. And I actually commented something about that on BuzzFeed, and I got a lot of backlash for it. And, well, I also said schools need metal detectors, which I believe. I do believe that schools need metal detectors, and I believe that we need tighter security in our schools. And yes, I know it costs money. And someone said that sounds like a prison. Routine locker searches and backpack searches and metal detectors sounds like a prison. But these are all things you have to do to get into any sporting event or any concert, even an airport. So it's not much different. And I know a lot of people will disagree with me about that too, but, and I will admit, I do tend to go to the extreme sometimes, but that's just me. But I've said "but" a lot in this video, haven't I? However, there are several factors that could prevent this kind of thing from happening, and I don't believe that you can totally stop it from happening, because you can't totally stop violence, but you can do things that could help reduce it, to at least reduce it, such as teaching your children to value human life and taking things like mental illness more seriously, and also, at the same time, not using it as an excuse to justify these actions. So, it's something that's kind of been on my chest for a while now. So I just wanted to talk to you all about that. And I know people probably disagree with me on this video, because my opinions aren't always popular. But it's fine. As long as you disagree with me in a polite and adult manner, then we're good. But So I just wanted to get that out there and share that with you guys. So, yeah. As always, have a good day, and I will see you all later.